Hello again. This is Satan's Trilogy. I will be reading from Book 2, Chapter 3, and this is reading number 60. I am the author and the narrator. Please sit back, relax, and listen as the story unfolds. Esther and Day worked some long hours during the week, while Mr. Ho and the newly hired workers finished the new edition. School didn't change much. In the math class, the competition between the boys and the girls were tied. The girls' gym class was now running on nearby hills in preparation for the state competition. And since Day and Esther could leave school after gym class, they hurried to the store to help their father. By the end of the week, the store had experienced more than triple in sales, and new customers kept appearing every day. The black community was appearing in the store and asking if Mr. Ho could provide certain produce not previously carried. Mr. Ho had opened the newly furnished store without an immediate grand opening. Perhaps in 2 or 3 weeks he would advertise a grand opening. He wanted to create a soft opening of the newly expanded store so that everyone could adjust to the increase in business. A few strategic changes in moving the checkout counters and the store's expansion would be finished. Esther and Day arrived together at the store within minutes of leaving school. They had driven to school together in Esther's Mustang. Day loved driving the Mustang, and so Esther usually rode as the passenger. They both entered the store, gave Mr. Ho a kiss on the cheek, and went to the back of the store to put on their smocks. Day and Esther came back to the front for some instructions and found their father finishing with a customer. He thanked the woman as she left. He turned to his daughters. Pausing for a moment, Mr. Ho smiled at the girls. "The two of you have been so wonderful. You have put in extra hours so that the expansion could be completed, and you both showed me you are dedicated." Mr. Ho continued to smile at his girls. "Because of you, too, and all of your friends, the expansion is completed, and it is a success." Day turned to Esther, grinned, and then commented to her father, "Esther and I know this expansion is good for everyone, and we were happy to put in the extra effort." Esther smiled and was nodding. "Father, working alongside of Day is wonderful, and watching the new store take shape is not only exciting, but rewarding." Mr. Ho walked up to the girls and gave both the hug at the same time. "I have a surprise for both of you. I have managed to keep the shelves stocked and the produce full. I know that tonight the two of you are headed to the W.O.W. event, so I want the two of you to leave now and do whatever is necessary for the evening's event." Esther and Day both jumped onto Mr. Ho and thanked him, while hugging him and kissing his cheeks. Slightly embarrassed, Mr. Ho said, "All right, that's enough. You two have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. I might need some help tomorrow if a truck shows up with the added inventory that I ordered. Please call me around 10 and I'll let you know." Mr. Ho smiled at the girls. "Now go and have some fun." Esther and Day ran to the back, took off their smocks, and hung them back onto the hooks on the wall. Day turned to Esther. "I have an idea. Let's go to my apartment and dress for tonight in my clothes. I really want to see you in some of my clothes. Besides, if we stay late to hear Black Gothic Band, you really need to be in black." They gave Esther a pleading look and saw that Esther would agree. "Oh, this is so wonderful. Esther, do you mind driving? I want to call our girlfriends. Maybe they'll want to help." Esther and Day again said good night to their father and left the store for the evening. Esther by now had been at Day's apartment many times, and in a little time they were walking into Day's room. Day's apartment was small, and her bedroom had a small closet, so she had added 4 steel tubular clothes racks and lined them along one of the walls. Each rack held dozens of black clothing items. Day was searching through her clothes to find a perfect fit for Gothic clothes for Esther. She finally stopped and turned to Esther, calmly asking, "Esther, what would you like to wear tonight?" At that moment, the doorbell rang and Day ran out to the apartment's entry. As they opened the door, Helen, Chris, and Eve walked into the apartment, and they quickly hugged and kissed Day, then immediately went to Day's room to find Esther. They were giggling with each other and quickly greeted Esther in the usual kiss on the cheek manner. Then they all started to drill Esther, asking what she had in mind and what her ideas were for her Gothic look. They were all 3 thrilled to be part of the experience. "Well," Esther started to talk, and the doorbell rang once more. They ran to the entryway and opened the door. Raven and Riley Grace quickly came in and greeted everyone, and joined the discussion on what Esther could or should wear for the evening's event. "I think leather and silk would be nice," said Esther. "Perhaps leather shorts with a black sheer blouse, a leather vest, and this jacket." Esther had just spotted a large black faux fur jacket that was hip-length with black roses embroidered onto the leather lapels. Esther pulled the jacket from the rack and quickly tried it on. "What do you think?" Esther looked at everyone. They spoke first. "All right, it looks good on you. So now we build an outfit around the jacket. It must all fit in unison." Everyone agreed and started to look through the clothing racks for other clothing items for Esther. Riley Grace found a long-sleeved silk blouse that was sheer in the back and black silk in the front, with small black buttons. "How about this blouse?" said Riley Grace as she held up a blouse. Raven quickly said, "It's perfect. What do you think, Esther?" The other girls quickly agreed with Raven before Esther could answer. Laughing, Esther said, "Well, let's try it on and see how it looks." Esther took the jacket off and carefully placed it back on a hanger at the end of the clothes rack. Then she removed her shirt and reached to Riley Grace for the silk blouse. Riley Grace paused a moment, then handed Esther the blouse, commenting, "Esther, you really look fit. I mean really strong." Esther took the blouse and smiled at Riley Grace. "Thank you." The blouse fit wonderfully. The sleeves were Slightly long, but not too long. The back was sheer, allowing for Esther's dragon to be seen, and the front silk had some embossed skulls patterns on it that were easily made out once noticed. "So what does everyone think?" asked Esther. "That is so hot that I can't believe my eyes," said Raven. Riley Grace was finally over the shock of Esther's changing in front of her and commented, "Awesome." Everyone made a positive comment. "All right," said Day. "Now you thought some shorts would be nice. Of course, you will have to wear some stockings or maybe tall socks with them. It will be a bit chilly tonight." Immediately, everyone started to look for some shorts. They had a clothes rack 2/3 full with shorts and knee-length skirts. Eve held up some shorts. They were black leather, with a hidden brass zipper on each side of the hip that once ran halfway down the side. "I like these," said Eve. They took the shorts and handed them to Esther. "These will look fantastic on you, but for these shorts you'll need some knee-high boots. And since we wear the same size, I have just the pair for you." They opened the closet next to her, and while the closet was not large, they had managed to fill it with nothing but footwear. She had shelving on each side of the closet, boxes of shoes lined the shelves. They quickly grabbed a pair of boots from the floor in the closet and gave them to Esther. They were black with chrome buckles that reached from the bottom to the top. On the side of the boots were embossed skulls, and the heels were about 2 inches, with the soles being at least 1 inch. "They are the best pair of boots that I have. Those boots and those shorts are a killer combination," said Day. Eve spoke up. "So does she need stockings or not? I think Esther should wear some black net stockings. That would be awesome." They quickly answered, "I agree. Let me find some." They opened the top drawer of her dresser and pulled out several black mesh pantyhose. Separating a handful of stockings, she came away with what she thought would work best. "Okay, Esther, let's see all this on you." Esther immediately removed her clothes and dressed in black, all black. Everyone looked and paused for a moment. Riley Grace broke the silence. "Wow, you look so good. I wish that I could look that good." Raven quickly agreed. "Yes, you look good, but you need your hair and your makeup corrected for tonight's event." Day jumped in. "Okay, let's find some hair for Esther." Day immediately opened the second drawer of her dresser. There were at least a dozen black wigs, in all shapes and styles. They handed Esther a wig of her choice. "I think this will fit your new outfit. The hairstyle is a rough cut, short, but also uneven in length." Esther immediately pulled the wig over her head, transforming her look from Ice Queen to Dark Angel. "Wow," said Raven. "That wig looks so natural on you. And it looks so real and awesome." Chris quickly interrupted. "I want to do the face. Please give me the face." Everyone looked at Chris and immediately understood that she wanted to do Esther's makeup. Chris was in love with design and fashion. "Please, I really want to make Esther the awesome gothic girl ever to walk the streets. Her face is perfect and a blank canvas. I can do this." Chris looked to be pleading. Everyone broke out laughing as Day suggested, "Perhaps we should ask Esther about this." Esther had been laughing too and responded, "Chris, you are talented in design and art, so why not? You do my makeup and I'll have to fight the men off all night long." Esther joked, but Chris didn't care. "Oh yes, thank you, Esther. This is so exciting." Chris was as excited as anyone had ever seen her. "Chris, can you be at my apartment perhaps at 5 to do the makeup?" said Esther. "I have a surprise for everyone. Mr. Wilson has given us a chauffeured limousine for the night." "He is a big investor for the W.O.W., Esther smiled. "We will arrive at the front door and be given first-class treatment." Esther smiled and added, "This really will be a memorable night." Everyone became excited, asking questions at the same time. Esther said, "Wait." She had to explain why they were given this special treatment. "I think this is all because I indirectly aided Mr. Wilson in buying some stock from the Buller brothers. I simply told them it was a good deal. However, I did not have them ask for an even better price, and they got it. But Mr. Wilson still thinks that I helped him secure a large block of common stock for the W.O.W. Esther took a breath. "So we get special treatment." She looked at everyone, and all of a sudden everyone jumped up and down. It was a sudden burst of excitement which everyone felt. They were going to the W.O.W. in a limousine. Jumping up and down, the girls were hugging each other and laughing in excitement. Perhaps they would even meet the Black Gothic band. They all loved their music, and the young men behind the music. All right, this will be fun," said Esther. If we are all going to honor the Black Gothic band by wearing black, then Riley Grace needs some help too. I want to take Riley Grace shopping at Marco's." Esther turned to Riley Grace and gave her a wink. "I happen to know that they have started a new line of Gothic clothes. We need to find her something that is her size and will look as awesome as the rest of us." Riley Grace stood looking at Esther, stunned. She then looked at her sister Raven, waiting for approval. Raven spoke up. "All right, but if my sister is shopping Gothic, I want to go along, just to help in the decision-making." Riley Grace jumped up and down. She ran over to Esther and gave her a kiss on the cheek, and then grabbed her sister and hugged her tight. "I am ready. When can we go?" said Riley Grace. "Well, we should go now, and then we'll all meet at my apartment at 5. The limo will pick us up at 6. Chris, maybe you can help in doing Riley Grace's makeup too. After all, we are all going Gothic tonight." Esther smiled at Chris. Chris quickly responded, "Oh yes, I would love to do Riley Grace's makeup." Oh, how exciting. Chris was contemplating how to do the makeup on such a young girl. Her mind was imagining the possibilities. Raven quickly spoke up. "All right, but I want to know what you are going to do before you do it." Riley Grace looked at her big sister and understood that she wanted to help protect her in what appeared to be a modest way. "All right," said Esther. "We'll all meet at my apartment at 5 o'clock tonight. Riley Grace, let's go shopping." Day quickly said, "This is so exciting." Grabbing all of the clothes that Esther would later wear, Day placed them into a large black canvas bag, and the black wig went into a special bag. And then on top of the clothes, I am ready," Day commented. Esther smiled at Day. All right, ladies, let's go shopping. This trip is for Riley Grace. I think I'll stop there. That was reading 60. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, take care and be safe.